Heroes in Crisis number 9 of 9 from DC Comics. Finally, this garbage event is over. Like, honestly, outside of the artwork, this series has been utter trash. Like, the whole premise is stupid, the execution is stupid. I honestly have no idea why Tom King seems to keep failing upwards. I mean, he is getting his Batman series kind of axed early, but I just recently heard that he's going to be writing the script for the New Gods movie, and I have no idea why. Why does this guy keep getting like all this big work? Oh, can you imagine what he's going to do with the New Gods? He's just going to make everyone just sad sacks of shit. So, here we go. The conclusion to this event. For anyone who hasn't read any of this series, you're lucky. For anyone who hasn't watched any of my previous videos about this and has no idea what the hell this is about. So basically, the Power Trio, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, decide in their infinite wisdom to create a therapy session in a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere and invite a bunch of heroes and villains to go and basically lay out all their problems to a robot's therapist that will delete all the evidence once the session is over. And that's somehow supposed to help them. They also have rooms where it's almost like the holodeck in Star Trek, where you can kind of live out your dreams or your fears or whatever as if it were real. So basically it allows you to kind of just dwell in your delusions. The whole thing is stupid. The fact that these three people who have no professional license to be therapists are doing this. The fact that there's no actual doctors in the area and it's just robots who then delete all their stuff. Like this is literally just talking to a camera and that's it. And we're going to delete all this stuff off once you're done. Like why Sanctuary a thing then? Why not just talk to a brick wall at your own house? Like, why do you have to go and talk to a camera so people can get all these details about your personal fears and stuff like that? I mean, yeah, it's quote unquote deleted afterwards, but as we find out, there's a way to save all that data. This whole thing is stupid. Anyways, that's the setup, and then a bunch of people die, and it turns out that Wally West is the killer. Yes, Wally West, the Flash, brutally murders people and then desecrates their corpses so he can frame Booster Gold and Harley Quinn. And then he basically goes 5 days into the future, and then he goes back into the past so that he can murder his future self so that he can, again, frame Booster Gold and Harley Quinn. It's retarded. So we get this stupid thing again where we have the people talking to the camera. Jason Blood the Demon. I have an inner demon, but it's not the one you think. The Guardian, and that's just it, right? Whatever it is or whatever happens, I'm not Superman. My head is on fire. I shouldn't joke. This is serious. I'm taking this seriously. So seriously, my head is on fire. Is this supposed to be funny? Like, here's the thing. The whole tone of this series, I have no idea what the fuck you're trying to do, Tom King. Because it seems like you're trying to tackle this serious issue, like mental health and PTSD and depression and suicide and all this stuff. You're trying to tackle this, but then you have this stupid humor, like dad humor. Like, oh, my head is on fire. Isn't that funny? I have an inner demon, but it's not the one you think. Like, what are you trying to do here? Like, you later have Barbara acting like a valley girl. Like, is this supposed to be funny? Is it supposed to be serious? I know, like, you can use some humor and, to talk about serious subject matters, but this is not the kind of humor you want to go for. Like, what's the tone here? How am I supposed to be feeling? Yeah, here's more. Like, so, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Harley, and Barbara Gordon crash in Sanctuary. They're like in a ship. I believe it's Blue Beetle ship, and then they crash. And isn't it funny? Harley Quinn is sleeping. She slept through the crash. The crash didn't wake her up. How funny is that? Like, this is dumb. I hate this portrayal of Harley Quinn. I mean, again, the artwork is freaking amazing, even though Batwoman right here has them crazy eyes. But I hate everything about this other than the artwork. The characters don't act like they should be. The characters all act like Tom King. They act like a depressed middle-aged man. Like, no joke. Everyone is either a depressed middle-aged man or they're a idiotic airhead trying to be funny but not funny. I just, yeah. So then we get more of this talking, and we get the ones from the Robin. So Dick's the funny, nice one. Jason's the rebellious, cool one. Damien's the cute one. So I get it. I get it more than I get it. But what the hell am I? Then now Nightwing. Jason is the cool, rebellious one. Tim is the dark, smart one. Damien is the cute, dangerous one. Everybody knows. Dick's the funny, nice one. Tim's the, but you get it. Each one thinks that the other one is better, and they don't know what to do. Isn't that funny? It's stupid. Also, why the hell is Jason Todd here? Is there no continuity whatsoever? I mean, I follow the Red Hoods and the Outlaw series. Jason Todd, one, didn't know anything about Sanctuary. He had no idea about it until Roy told him about it. And even after Roy told him about it, Jason refused to have anything to do with it. He refused to have anything to do with Sanctuary. Second of all, this costume. This costume, he was not rocking this costume when Sanctuary was a thing. He had this costume after Rory died. And you could say, well, maybe this took, I guess, spoiler, maybe this takes place after the event. Because they end up reopening Sanctuary, and I'll get into that later. Maybe maybe this is afterwards, but it doesn't make any sense because Jason Todd is way too busy right now. He's too busy working a nightclub and fighting off the Penguins, man. And there's literally no talk about Sanctuary in the series. The only time he brings up Sanctuary is to talk about how stupid of an idea it was and how it basically got his best friend killed. So why the hell would he be there? But yeah, this whole thing is dumb. Let's be honest, right? I don't even know what the hell Will is. Do you? Really? Hal Jordan is going to say he doesn't know what Will is? That's his whole thing. In the, I want to say the current, but the rebirth Hal Jordan, he literally creates a ring made out of his own will. And then even after the ring is destroyed, he still has some of the Green Lantern powers because of his whole own will. He can manifest his own will without the need of a Green Lantern ring. But he doesn't know what it is. If anyone knows what will is, it's Hal Jordan. This is just a desecration of the character. This is stupid, man. But yeah, basically, Poison Ivy is alive again because they killed her for no reason. Like, remember when they killed her to shock you all? But, they brought her back because they had a seed and they just regrew her. Yay. So Wally from the future goes into the past and, basically let me just say this. Okay. So Wally kills a bunch of heroes. And then he has a sad. He gets all sad about it. So then he travels and he kills a bunch of heroes. He manipulates their body. Well, he kills a bunch of heroes. Days pass. Then he goes back into time, re-kills those heroes again, and then desecrates their corpses. And then is about to, and then he kills himself. He kills his future self, so that he can frame Booster and Harley. So I guess this is them trying to do that again, but then he changes his mind because of the power of friendship. Because of the power of friendship, he changes his mind. And, where is it? Do I have it here? No. I guess I didn't do it. So it's the power of friendship, and so because of the power of friendship, he changes his mind, and also because of the powers of bro before heroes. Yes, I'm serious. They literally say bros before heroes, and then him and Booster Gold fist bump. Um, yeah, I don't know why Wally changed his mind. They didn't explain that really whatsoever. I mean, he did launch into like a 4-page just this garbage. So if you guys want to like fucking read all that shit, I guess you can. But god damn, um, it's just whatever. So he basically changes his mind, uh, and then I guess Booster Gold, Barbara, Blue Beetle, and Harley kind of talking. They're like, so is he like off the hook? Like, good to go? Did we just go? He's like, no, it's his responsibility, even if it wasn't his intention. Plus the whole temporal framing people thing. He leaked the secrets about Sanctuary to make up for it. That's good. How is that good? I mean, Sanctuary is a stupid idea, but how is leaking the fact that Sanctuary exists? How does leaking the fact that a bunch of heroes and criminals suffering from mental health issues to the public helps? The whole point of Sanctuary was to be anonymous. So now, not only that, but it wasn't just leaking that Sanctuaries exist. They actually leaked who's in Sanctuary. So now you have all these characters. Now the public knows about their personal inner demons and their personal health issues and stuff like that. How is that good? Like, have you never heard of doctor-patient confidentiality? There's a reason for that. There's people out there who wants to keep that shit to themselves. Like, I personally don't care. I've talked multiple times about the fact that I have agoraphobia with panic disorder. I also have some depression. I have no problem telling people about that. Like, to me, people knowing doesn't really bother me. But I do know for a fact that there are people where that stuff does bother them. Like, they have those issues and they don't want anyone to know about it other than their therapists, their psychiatrists, their doctors, maybe very, very close friends or family members that they feel like they can trust and rely on. But they don't want strangers. They don't want, coworkers, colleagues. They don't want those people to know about their issues. So how the hell is Wally basically leaking to the whole world, hey, all your favorite criminal heroes and all those criminals out there? Well, guess what? Here's the list of all of them, and here's all their problems. Here's all their personal demons. How does that help? How is that a good thing? Not only that, but like, are we gonna see people now using that knowledge? Or it's like, oh, like, well, we now know that so and so has a fear of this. Are we gonna start using that to attack them now? Like, I mean, this can help criminals. This can help criminals, like, go after their rivals. Now they know like what to use, like, what their rivals fear and stuff, like what their personal demons are, and they can use that against them. I don't know how this is supposed to be a good thing. I think Tom King thinks this is a good thing, but it's not. Like, you really get the impression that Tom King, one, suffers from something, and I'm not going to go into detail about what, because I don't know, and it's not my place to talk about it, but it's obvious he suffers from something. And two, I get the impression he's not getting any help on it. Just because the whole way this series went, it literally feels like he never once had any therapy sessions, or he did and it was bad and then he gave up on it. And that makes sense because I've had 3 therapists before I finally found one that I feel like actually works and helps. So it makes sense. Like, like if for anyone else out there who has mental health issues, and you tried therapy and it didn't work, keep trying. Because it literally took me until the 4th therapist before I actually saw gains. So keep trying, because trust me, it does make a huge difference. Therapy does help a lot. Like, I've noticed a huge progress in myself. You just have to find the right one, and sometimes that can take some time. But please do it. But I feel like Tom King doesn't. Just because the way he portrays mental health in here and the way he portrays people trying to recover makes absolutely no sense and goes against everything that people with actual issues do to get better. Like, nothing here makes any kind of sense. And actually, the stuff that, like, especially Sanctuary, the stuff that they were doing in Sanctuary Seems like it would make everything worse. Um, but yeah, then there's the whole thing about, hey, you know, do I still have to kill you because to fix the temporal time loop or whatever? And then Booster Gold basically does an ass pull, and he says, no, we don't need to upset the timeline. Basically, I can go into my future and we can clone Wally, and then I can bring back the clone, and we can give it to you, and then you can use that clone. That way you don't have to kill your future self. And that's the fix. Wally goes to jail. Everybody else is happy. I don't know why they're happy, but okay, so Wally goes to jail. I'm assuming past Wally goes to jail. What happens to future Wally? Because now there's two Wallys. There's a Wally from the future who came back into the past and was originally going to have his past self kill himself, but then decided to help his past self and basically convince him not to do it. So what happens to the future Wally? Does he go scot-free? Despite the fact that, I mean, he did the same crimes too. They were in the past, like 5 days in the past, but he did the crimes before. Just because he went back in the past and then prevented himself from doing it again doesn't mean that he didn't do it in the first place. So now there's two Wallys. How's that going to affect the DC universe? But Wally goes to jail. Everybody is happy despite the fact that a shit ton of innocent people died. Like, Wally prevents his past self from murdering himself, but the people are still dead. Because Harley and them went into the past after Wally had killed the other people, and it was right when he was going to kill himself. So the people that Wally killed are still dead. But everybody else is like kind of happy. They're like, hey, things happen, but we're all good now, except for Wally, who's a sad sack rotting in a jail cell. How's that for your lovable character? DC took the one character that represented hope, that represented the DC rebirth, and he turned him into, and Tom King turned him into a murdering psychopath, suicidal, depressed, sad sack of shit who's now rotting in a prison cell. Don't you guys just love Dan Didio's direction for DC? And then we have Captain Atom. Now that you've reopened, are you sure it's safe? So they reopened Sanctuary. So after all that, after people getting brutally murdered, they decided, you know what, let's open this place up again. Because, we didn't learn anything from the first time. Let's open this place up. Let's open up Sanctuary. Let's have this, just not make any changes whatsoever. Let's allow criminals and heroes to come here and only give their word that they're not going to cause any problems. Let's give them therapy sessions where they don't see a licensed professional. They don't take any medication. They don't see anyone with any kind of medical doctorate or anything like that. Instead, they just talk into a camera by themselves. A camera that doesn't ask them questions. A camera that just records them. And then later deletes their session. So you have no idea how to monitor their progress because all their sessions are deleted immediately afterwards. Which kind of begs the question, why are you recording in the first place? Let's have them have sessions where they can go into a holodeck and basically either live out their worst fears or live in their delusions. I noticed a trend with Tom King wanting people to live in delusions. He did it with Mr. Miracle. He did it in Heroes in Crisis. He kind of did it with Batman and the whole dream arc. Tom King seems to have a fascination with letting people live in their delusions rather than toughing up and tackling their problems head on. And I get it. It can be scary. Trust me. I get scared as shit every time I gotta leave the house and do something. Like something as simple as going to the grocery store, even though I've done it hundreds of times. It can be a battle. Like it can be scary as shit for me because of my agoraphobia. And even if I get through it and I get my items, I get my food, I get whatever I need to get, and I get home, the next time I go to the store, I gotta do it all over again. And it's not. I can tell myself, hey, pirate, you did this like 100 times already. You can do it 100. 101 is not gonna make a difference. But it's a battle. Like no matter what, no matter how good my day goes, the next day starts all over again. But you got to keep going through it, Uh, and it seems like Tom King. I don't know if he seems to put himself in this character. So maybe he has issues and he doesn't want to deal with them, and he'd rather just live in his delusions. I'm not going to speculate on that because it's not my place. But in terms of the characters, he seems to have a fascination with characters living in their delusions and not toughing it out and not being heroes, being heroic, being, and doing the heroic thing, which is being scared, but still going through with it. I mean, that's bravery right there. Bravery is not having no fear. It's having fear, but still doing what you got to do. That's what makes someone heroic. And yet, Tom King doesn't have his heroes doing that. Instead, he has his heroes kind of running away from their problems and then living in their delusions. And I don't want that kind of hero. That's not the hero that people should be looking up towards. That's not the heroes that should be representing DC. And I think this is the best place to end this. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment down below. Subscribe if you guys want. I would appreciate it. Hit the bell for notification. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Later.